Anyways, Luella, old lady, old lady, queen mommy, whatever, dead, rip.
All right,
Literally. Yo, too soon.
Hi,
Hi,
devotees.
devotees.
Welcome to the special unhinged recap of Shield of Sparrows. Coming to you a little late, but that's okay. Better late than never.
So true. We know that Rites of the Starling just came out, but we also know a lot of you may be in the middle of your reread, contemplating doing a reread, or just plain want to jump right into Rites of the Starling, but you're like, oh my god, I don't remember anything at all.
Yes, and we are here to help you remember things, or if we forgot things, please leave it in the comments below.
Yeah. We're going to do our best, but this is meant to
Yeah.
be fast. It's meant to be quick, slick, and possibly Rick.
And unhinged as fuck.
Exactly.
Yeah, we already had some discussions. They were a little unhinged already.
Per
But
usual.
yeah. And obviously spoilers for Shield of Sparrows. I have not started right, so I don't know anything. So I will not be able to spoil that because I have the audiobook and it on Kindle Limited.
Mm-hmm. I also haven't started
very
Rites yet, so,
Mm-mm.
TBD on that. I'm sure we'll have a discussion when the time comes, possibly, of Rites. Definitely I think this is meant to be quite a long series. I don't think it's supposed to be just 2 books. So.
No, I think at least 3. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll put in how many. If we know how many, we'll find out.
Yeah. So, at the very least, stay tuned for another unhinged recap of Rites of the Starling before the next book comes out, because I'm pretty sure this is going to be a longer series.
I hope so, because I really like it.
Yeah, me too, honestly. Honestly, me too. But we'll get into, our review of it at the end.
Yeah. Because this go around for this recap, this was Janie's first time in my reread because I read it last summer and I've been telling everybody to read this book because it's so good and the audiobook is phenomenal. And I got the graphic audio because I love my graphic audios and that was so good. Yeah, I loved it. I loved it so much. I personally, because I listen to so many, I know a lot of different voice actors as like other people.
Yeah.
So the guy that played the Guardian is actually the guy that does Cassian's voice. So I was like, Cassian. I was just like,
right.
That fits.
It does fit. It actually does
Just give him wings.
Yeah.
He's such a good Cassian. I love him.
He's a great Guardian too. Honestly, I will say that the audiobook makes this book better.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And there are 1.5, 2 narrators, 1.5. The reason we're saying half, because Samantha Brentmore does. How many chapters are there? Like 50 something?
50 something. And she put this audiobook on her back.
She did 50. I think there's 53. She did 52 of the 53 chapters.
Yeah.
All by herself.
Yeah.
And it's like, God damn.
Playing both female and male parts is insanely difficult. And genuinely, Natasha and I thought the whole time that it was Jason Clarke. And then it turns out it was actually Samantha Brentmore pretty much the entire time. So we discussed, because on the audiobook cover it says Samantha Brentmore and Jason Clarke. It should say Samantha Brentmore featuring Jason
Clarke. Yeah.
Because he's there for like this long. And we're both just like, okay, like Samantha just could have done this part too.
Right. I did see though the Rites has 3 narrators. Samantha, Jason, and somebody else. So I'm like, whose point of view do we get?
If I had, oh, I hope not. Sorry. Oh my god. Freudian slip.
May?
Maybe. Is it a woman?
I think so. I'm gonna look it up super duper quick. Oh,
Ooh,
if you had to guess though,
May.
if you had to guess, I think it's a female. If you had to guess, who's your guess?
Oh, okay. Let me tell you who I would prefer it to be. I would prefer it to be. This is really hard, actually. I would prefer if it was. I would like May would be good. Okay, so my
Mhm.
number one though would probably be Tilia.
I was gonna say Tilia. Yeah.
Tilia because she definitely knows a lot more than what she says.
Oh
So
yeah.
Tilia would
Because
be
yeah, it
good.
is.
Oh, it is a
It is a
woman.
female.
Okay,
Megan Wicks. So it's Jason Clark, Samantha Brentmore, and Megan Wicks are
interesting.
the three narrators.
So maybe
I really want to
Tilia.
start it.
I know. Maybe May. And then possibly.
Luella in flashbacks?
Oh, interesting.
Maybe.
Oh, interesting. Oh,
Like we find a
interesting.
journal and we get flashbacks.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
This is
Interesting.
us speculating, guys.
Interesting. Okay, I like that. Okay, I
Yeah.
like that. Well, let's get into it. First, we're going to go over the main characters of Shield of Sparrows in case you've forgotten.
Yes. Or yeah, you need the refresher. Or you're just like saying, fuck, I don't want to read it. Just give me the recap. First of
Yeah.
all, go read it. Because it's really fucking good. Second
Yeah.
of all, welcome. And guys, this is an adult podcast, as you couldn't tell, we're already swearing.
Yeah. So be aware for your little ears. And also,
Yes.
this is a smutty romantasy book. So you need to be aware of that. No closed door spice in this book. No, ma'am.
Thank God.
I agree. Anyways.
Yes. Anyways, our characters. So we just have a list of the characters briefly and a brief like description of who they are.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot. So to start out, we have our female main character, Odessa, who is our Shield of Sparrows, or the Sparrow as she's called. And Janie has a few nicknames for her.
I do. She is our orange-haired ginger beauty. Also, by the way, let your
Yes.
ginger freak flag fly, baby girl.
Yes.
For like a good half of the book, she dyes her hair brown. No, be ginger. Um, so I call her Cross. I call her Sparrow. I call her Des. I call her Odessa. I call her many, 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 many names.
Many names,
Usually
yes.
Sparrow.
And Cross is her last name, so that's why Cross.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So next we have the Guardian. Um, again, this is spoilers. We learn his name is Ransom, and he's like the kind of protector of Tura, kind of. He kind of like has like some good ass muscles and power because he kind of goes and destroys creatures.
Yeah. I mean, he's basically creature made.
He is.
Yeah.
He is also, again, spoilers. He is the prince,
Of Tura.
but we don't of Tura, but we don't find this out until much later.
Big reveal. Shocker,
Big
not
reveal.
really, because if
I-
you read the wedding scene, you're like, yeah, something's
Yes.
fucking fishy about that.
As soon as I read the wedding scene, I was like, he's the prince, isn't he? And then we have Xavier, who is the prince, who stands in for Ransom as, you know, his body, and then the guardian is he's the guardian then talking for the prince, but he really is the prince. So it's like, okay, so you're talking for yourself, but Xavier's your body double. His real name is Dre, but we still call him Xavier sometimes.
Or we call
And
him not Xavier.
not Xavier, not
Yeah.
Prince, fake Prince.
Yeah.
He's actually Ransom's cousin, so they that's why he's a good like body double because they look enough alike
Yep.
to pass. And then we have May, who was Odessa's younger half sister that was supposed to marry Xavier. May was supposed to be the Sparrow for the Shield of Sparrows like contract thing, but they chose Odessa. We'll get to that. We have Margot, Odessa's stepmom, May's mom. There's also a little brother, Arthur Lane, I believe. He's like 3. We don't see him. She just wants to say goodbye because she's very close to her brother. But she doesn't get to say goodbye, so she's upset, which I get.
He doesn't have much impact on the story, so don't worry about
No.
him.
That's why I didn't put him there, but I was like, there is another sibling, but
Yeah.
Next we have King Cross. We don't know his first name, but that's Odessa's father. Yeah, and he's in charge of their land. I forgot what their land is called already.
No idea. Can't
No idea.
remember.
It's there. We have Brielle and Jocelyn, who are Odessa's ladies in waiting, who go with her to Tura. Or as we both call them, kind of bitches in waiting.
Yeah. And they are.
Yeah, they're big bitches. Like, you feel like you're supposed to like them, and then no.
You're kind of sus of them the whole time because they do not put themselves front and center in the story, and you never really get to know them, so the whole time it's very sussy. Like,
Oh
they
yeah.
feel estranged, like they're supposed to be there on her side while she marries into this foreign land and goes into this foreign country, and they're supposed to be there taking care of her. They're not.
No. They are motion sick, so they're sick of the ship with the whole time, which I think is actually true.
Yeah.
But then once they're at Chura, they're kind of out there, not really there, and they're like, "We're so sorry." She's like, "That's fine. I take care of myself."
She's used to taking care of herself a lot, and we have a very independent FMC who starts off as being just not weak but uneducated in terms of like how
Yes.
to take care of herself, purposefully so, created by
Hmm.
her father. So she is
By her stepmom.
thrust and by her stepmom. Yeah, she is thrust into a world that is not patriarchal at all. Yes, they have a king, but honestly, the women do a lot of the ruling, do a lot and do fighting. It's a very
Oh
different
yeah.
world than where she has grown up.
Tura is amazing, except for the king.
It's pretty interesting. Yeah, fuck the king. King Ramsay's the worst.
He's the worst. He's an asshole. What we call him too.
Mm-hmm.
He's the king of Tura, obviously. So Ransom's dad.
Yeah.
And then we have Evangeline, who is Xavier's ward slash daughter. So this is like Prince Xavier, like the not prince. Um, but really, she's actually a princess. She's actually Ransom's sibling, but they don't want Ramsay to know that she exists, so they hide her as a ward, like that Prince Xavier found her, and that's his word. She knows him as her dad, and in all intents and purposes, she is Xavier's child.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's like 4, I think they said.
Yeah. Way too
Is
smart
that
for
fair?
a 4-year-old, also.
Way too smart, but I mean, Ransom's pretty damn smart, so that kind of runs in
Yeah.
the family.
Yeah. I lovingly refer to her as Lil Ass Bitch or Lil Ass Girl because she's mad annoying, but, you know, there's a
She
purpose to
gives you
her.
some lore drop.
Yeah. See, yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a purpose to
She's like,
her.
"What do you mean, Evie?" And she's like, "Oh, this and this." And Lodes is like, "Oh, okay."
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, like we were saying, she's too smart.
She's way too smart. Next we have Tilia, who is a warrior in Tura, and she helps train Odessa.
In combat and honestly in culture.
Yeah, she helps. Yeah, and because Tilia is one of the warriors for Ransom, she knows that Ransom slash the Guardian is really the prince because she's, I think, they're longtime friends. She is married to somebody. I forgot his name, but we like him too. He got his leg
Handsome Squidward.
bitten off. Yes, handsome Squidward, who got his leg bitten off in the final battle.
Yeah, rip. His name starts with an H, and that's all you need to know.
Yeah, that sounds right. I don't remember. Next we have Kathleen. She's basically like the librarian in this little town trio.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
kind of like the lore person. Yeah, she gives
she's
Odessa books.
she's, yeah.
Yeah, she helps educate Odessa on the culture, the things around them by giving her books. And then later she gives her books to like kind of lead her down this path where she was blood sworn not to speak. But she can give her books to like, hey, put your mind here and get her. So we love Kathleen. I love her personally.
I thought it
Um,
was Catlin, but Kathleen,
I think it's
librarian.
Kathleen. I don't
Mm,
know.
mm-hmm,
I don't remember now.
mm-hmm.
But the voice actor in the graphic audio is the one that does Jessica. So I'm like, I love Jessica.
Nice.
So yeah. And then we have Luella, who is Evie's tutor, Evie's with her a lot. But we find out she's actually the queen. She's Ramsay's estranged wife that ran away because Ransom found his dad choking his mom out while she was cheating on him. But Evie is the king's.
Complicated to say the least.
It's really complicated.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's Evie and Ransom's mom. R.I.P.
Spoiler alert.
But again, this is a spoiler.
But again, this is an entire recap, so yeah.
Yeah. Next we have the Voshers, who are like magical priests. They're yeah. They have power rippling off them that Odessa can feel, but you're not supposed to feel their magic. And when they touch her, it's not good.
She says, ew!
Yeah.
But more like, ah! Because it's painful.
Yeah. And then Ransom's like, stop touching her. But Ransom trusts them. So he's like, they're fine. And as soon as they touch her, she's screaming out. He's like, stop it.
Yeah. He's like, why are you screaming? And she's like, don't you feel their power? And he's like, no.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
And finally, the next person we kind of need to know, is Banner, who's Odessa's former fiance. He's the general for Odessa's dad's, like, army command thing. He's older than her, I think 15 years older than her. And it was kind of be a privilege to marry Odessa while May's off marrying Xavier, blah, blah, blah. As soon as Odessa was picked for the bride prize, Banner goes nuts. Like, she's supposed to be mine. Okay.
Yeah. And
No.
especially he's pissed because the Guardian killed his brother.
Yeah, but we find out why, and it's actually a good fucking reason.
It's pretty
so
fucked
off.
up. Yeah. Yeah, so fuck off,
really
Banner.
Fuck off! Okay. There are also creatures in Tura. One is kind of like all over, but I feel like the others are kind of more located here. I don't know if they're everywhere. Didn't seem like it.
That was not explained, but
No, but the Crux is the one that comes
TBD.
over everything.
Yeah.
The Crux flies over the whole world, but I don't know. Maro eels are in the
Ocean.
water, so yeah. So they know that, but I don't know about the others.
Yeah.
But these are the basic ones that we get information on,
Right.
and I found pictures.
Okay.
Okay.
So all of these creatures are slightly or dramatically larger than their original counterparts. So we're talking about like bears and lions and tigers. Oh my. So we have a grizzer, which is basically grizzly bear with spikes. It's also freaking massive. Literally grizzly bear with spikes. Tarkin, which is a tiger with scales. So think like, in my mind, it looks like dinosaur tiger baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I picture too.
Lion.
But I also just picture a tiger half the time.
Yeah. So do I. Lionwick is a lion with sharp black claws and teeth, and it's got like a spiky tail situation going on.
Yes. They didn't interact with the Lionwick that much. We might get more in book 2, but
Yeah.
that's really all we had.
We didn't get too many of those.
No.
We have a barrowolf or barrowolf. It's basically a wolf with spikes, so kind of like the size of a horse with really pointy, spikies, spines, big teeth. Scary.
Very scary.
An alligast, we think it's an alligator that sheds its skin, so an alligast snake basilisk, an alligator basilisk type energy,
Maybe.
potentially.
Yeah, we don't know much about the alligast except that where it sheds and does its things, it makes really good candy.
Ew. Yeah. So, ew.
We'll probably find out more in the second one.
Yeah. And then we have marrow eels, which are it's basically just a big giant eel. Spikes is different colors, males and females, and anyways. And then a crux is like a giant fucking raven mixed with an eagle mixed with like a velociraptor, and it's just like
It's a big bird, and this is basically the start of their downfall, because the crux is kind of what happens. They start migrating, and once that happens, like you need to hide for like a year or whatever. How long you need to hide, because they are destroying the planet.
So yeah, all of these people, that they migrate every however 10 years, 15 years, 50 years, something to that level.
30 years, I think.
They migrate across this planet, and people will hide underground, so they build all these underground tunnels and underneath the castles and just like things like that to get away from the crux, because crux will eat anything and everything. They're just big evil bird. And there's lots of lore about them. They're also quite mystical and magical and there's quite a bit to them. They're basically the whole reason why this book even exists.
They are, yeah. Because of the crux, that's how we got the treaty for the Shield of Sparrows and blah, 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 blah. Which has been going on for a couple hundred years, I think they said.
Yeah.
Because, like, every 30 years or so, every 50 years, they have that. I think it's every 50 because his mom was in the last one.
Right.
So I'm going to guess 50.
Okay, I believe you.
I don't know. We'll look it up and we'll insert it. So we did this recap. I had to look up some answers because I was like, I don't remember shit. So I got a lot of wording online too because I was like, I don't know how to word this. I know what I want to say. But so what is the Shield of Sparrows? Basically, it, as we said, it is a marriage between two countries. And it is an honor privilege to be the sparrow. And it's a peace treaty between those two kingdoms during the time of the Crux. So they that way, whatever air they produce, they know they have land, like blood between two lands and stuff like that. So I said May was supposed to marry Xavier, that she was supposed to be the sparrow. That did not happen. The Taurus came, and they changed their mind. They said, we want a bride price because we killed 7 marrow eels, which is like a big number. Like you kill 7 females of a bad breed thing, and you get a prize. And they wanted a bride price. And they changed it to Odessa. And she's like, what? I'm not supposed to do anything. She was really thrown off and really confused.
Well, remember, yeah, she's engaged to Banner. Once again, the king's like head of of his army.
Yeah, and she is like very not. May was trained early on to fight. Was trained to do all this stuff early on. You can tell that May was favored by both by the stepmom and the dad, and Odessa's just there because she asks a lot of questions.
May was almost trained to be an assassin.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so she becomes the bride prize. They get married that night, right? Or that night.
Night, yeah.
Yeah. And she doesn't go off with Xavier for their honeymoon night. Her dad takes her and has her like, you're gonna be a spy. You're gonna figure shit out, and you're gonna kill the Guardian.
Yeah. He debriefs her. He's like, "Hey, we've been cooking up some shit for a long time, and like, my plan just got fucked, and now you gotta fill in for your sister.
You have 7 hours. May had 17 years.
Yeah,
basically. And so she's like, "What?" And Odessa's a really bad spy, guys. She's a really fucking bad spy, as we said. Yeah. So the next day, she gets loaded onto a ship with her bitches in waiting. Yeah, and none of them have been on a ship. None of them have left the country before. So this is like new, and Odessa's like, yeah, and the girls are like,
yeah. Nobody's super stoked about this situation.
No. As they're sailing across, like the Guardian and Xavier talks to her, which she doesn't talk in front of other people, except Taurus. But she's talking in front of Odessa. She's like, oh, he thinks I'm a Taura now. But it's because it's their thing. And while they're on the ship, a marrow eel attacks, so she falls into the water. And it's like, oh, shit. The Guardian saves her, of course, obviously. And then she's like, I want a fucking sword. She can't fight, y'all. She cannot fight. She is accident prone like me.
She's never been trained, so she has the tenacity, but she does not have the know-how.
No, they tried to train her, but she was very like, it fell, it slipped, the swordsmith's like, you're done after like a day.
Right.
It's like, no.
We gotta get you back to basics.
Yeah. Which is walking. Yeah. So they get off the ship at Tura. They're riding horses. They're doing all this stuff. They get to basically this treehouse forest village.
And that's all that you can really call it. It's called Tura, but it is the club treehouse. That's it.
It's a treehouse club. Yeah, trio. It's like literally houses and trees. Everything's in trees. Yeah. Like nothing's on the ground except like training combat, like doing that shit, but you go to bed in the trees. And I'm like, can I go? But there is a place in Washington with a bunch of tree houses that you can go stay in.
And that's what I was picturing in my mind the whole time. I was kind of shook. I was like, this seems like I was just like, POV, you're reading this book in the treehouse. immersive.
That'd be
Just
cool.
saying. Yeah.
This entire time, Odessa's kind of learning the train from Tilia, again, the warrior. We love her. She also wants to be close to her husband. She's like, I want to get to know Xavier. Like, I married this guy. Who the fuck is he?
Yeah.
And he's off doing scouting parties and all this shit. And she kind of talks to him, kind of gets some information. The Guardian's also there, teasing her, giving her shit,
Mm-hmm.
which I love.
Mm-hmm.
And things are just really awkward between Xavier and Odessa. Like, awkward as fuck.
He doesn't fully ignore her, but he barely gives her the time of day. Whereas the
Mm-hmm.
Guardian is basically up her ass and around the corner from day one. He's asking her all these weird questions. He's like, "Are you a virgin?" And she's like, "Fucking mind your business." Like, he's up her ass legitimately, and
Mm-hmm.
she thinks that it is so goddamn weird because she's like, who are you? That's basically her vibe this whole time. Like,
That is, because
why?
she's like, I didn't marry you.
Yeah, I didn't marry you. You're not my husband.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she just hates it. And so while we're also in trio, we see a 4-year-old girl, and Xavier has a kid, and she's like, "What? Xavier has a kid?"
Yeah.
And Evie's not supposed to say she's his kid, but she lets it slip. She's fucking 4. It's gonna happen. Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
very 4-year-old energy. I'm like, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
um, but then I said later we learned she's actually the sister, which is fine.
Yeah.
And I said, let's just try to spy this whole time. She's not very fucking great.
No, Odessa is has no idea what's going on. And then honestly, she's just like, okay, my husband has like a child. I guess I need to get to know her. Not like I hate her. How do I plot her demise? She's just like, I think I need to be her friend. I don't know. What am I supposed to do here? And like,
Right?
mind you, previously she loved her younger brother, so it was almost natural for her to step into like a maternal role because she's like, what happened to
Yeah.
her mom? And they're like, oh, her mom's dead.
Yeah. She's not around. Yeah, she died in childbirth, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, okay. You know? But also, you can take in the fact she was Evie. She was Evie. She had a stepmom come in who
Mm-hmm.
wasn't that great. Like, her stepmom was her mom's lady in waiting.
Yeah.
And so she had a stepmom come in after her mom died and just kind of a shit to her mostly. And Odessa's like, I don't want to be like that. She's like, it's a fucking kid. Like, I married this
Mm-hmm.
guy. I'm going to be with this guy. Let me get to know his kid.
Mm-hmm.
Which I was like, okay, good on her. Because a lot of people would be like, you didn't fucking tell me. And she's like, no, okay.
Yeah.
People have a life. Shit happens.
Yeah. Shit happens when you party naked. Yep.
Yup. And not Xavier. Xavier is a freak.
Not yeah, it's very much allured to that not Xavier, the not prince, is very much into he's very sexually mischievous, and she is pretty intimidated by that.
He does not mind sharing, is how the Guardian puts it.
Yeah.
And she's like, what?
She's like, am I gonna have to do that? And the Guardian is like, he walks away. He just doesn't answer it.
Yeah.
He's just like,
He's like, oh.
that's between you and him.
Right. So while there, I said we kind of meet. That's when we meet Kathleen, and we get the books. And then King Ramsay comes and fucking burns all the books. Like, they come and burn all of the books. And she's like, what the fuck is happening? She doesn't know. She wants fucking answers because, again, she's spying, wants answers, wants to explore because this is her country too now. So she finds a way to escape this little village and goes to the neighboring town Ashmore to find some answers. There, she runs into the Guardian. He's like, how the fuck did you get past the guard? She's like, oh, I did it? You didn't let me get away? He's like, no, you got past them. How? And she's like, I'm not telling.
Mm-hmm.
It was very like cloak and dagger. Like, I'm going to pretend to be my maid and get
Mm-hmm.
out.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Yeah. So as they're exploring the town, we run into Kathleen there because it's been a couple weeks since the library burned down. And barrow wolves come and attack. After we found out that library was burned down too. So they go in and are trying to leave or hide in this tavern. The tavern owner dies, letting them in basically, which Odessa very much takes as her fault.
Mm-hmm.
She goes and helps kill some of the barrow wolves. One of them has one eye and is very gunning for ransom.
Mhm.
Very much like trying to get him, trying to
Mhm.
get her. Like this is very like so smart fucking Beowulf.
Mhm.
And then they leave, and then she helps heal him up because he's kind of hurt because he took on
Mhm.
like 7 of them by himself
Mhm.
because he's a guardian and he's very powerful.
He's that
Um,
bitch. Yeah.
he's that
He's like,
bitch.
why does King Ramsay want the Guardian? And then she starts to think, oh, maybe he's building a militia. He's burning all the information. He's got all
Hmm.
these guards. Young men are disappearing. Mind you, they have she's noticing that there's only ever one individual guy at a time protecting these villages. And she's like, why would that be? And everyone's just like, oh,
Hmm.
because all of the guys have joined the militia, King's militia. And she's like, why? And
Why?
nobody ever answers her. Nobody gives her shit for information. They don't trust her.
No, which again, she's new. She's from a different country. Her dad's kind of a douche. They all know this.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes sense. So her and Ransom, getting the Guardian, we don't know it's Ransom at this time, are leaving. And she's like, we're not going back to Trio. He's like, no, we're not. We're going to a new town. I can't trust you.
Mm-hmm.
This is Elder, which is basically, I was picturing like, what's I picturing? Like Lord of the Rings, kind of the town built into the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was picturing. Because it's like built into a mountain, has gates, like all this stuff. It's more stone,
Mm-hmm.
like work than like treehouse wood.
Lots of caves. They have dungeons. That's
Mm-hmm.
important.
Yes, it is. So we go there. That's where Evie is. That's where Luella is. We find out that's where Xavier is. Great. On the road, though, before we get there, we find out more about this disease called Lysa. Because the animals that have attacked, the few times she's been around, she's like, there's something off with these fucking things. Like, they're bleeding green. What is wrong?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
drunkenly, the night before, the Guardian told her, like, it's called Lysa. And she was very drunk. And the next day, she's like, what about Lysa? And he's like, how do you know? She's like, you told me? Like, excuse you?
Mm-hmm.
like so. And so he tells her it's the disease that's going around. We're trying to figure out what's going on, all this stuff. And she asks a question. She's like, "What is it gonna happen? What happens if it's in humans?" She realizes the Guardian has Lysa. That's why he's fucking powerful. He has this disease.
His eyes also change color. He has
Mhm.
superhuman strength, superhuman speed, all of these things. And she starts to put it together. This is when the book
Mhm.
really starts to pick up, okay? At
Mhm.
this moment in time, it is like blah blah blah, they go here, they go there, and it's at this moment in time when she puts together that the Guardian has Lysa and all of these animals have Lysa, and the Guardian just thinks that he needs to kill his way through these animals for it to go away. And she's like, "No, this is created. I
Mhm.
can just tell." She just knows the animals are too smart. And some things that, Catelyn has been dropping to her with all these books. She's like weaving together the pieces of the puzzle. Shit, it starts to pick up from this point. So lock in, you guys. It gets crazy.
It does. Yeah, this is where, as she said, it just gets crazy because this is where all the information, like more information, gets dumped to you,
Yep.
but it's really good information. And you're like, okay, and you are piecing together. You believe you go. I sided with Odessa like from the beginning. Like, yeah, this was fucking made from the sounds of it because it came out of nowhere like 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He got bitten by a beast, and he's like, that's when I was
Mm-hmm.
infected. He's like, but I can kiss people and fuck people, and nobody gets it. It's like, okay, cool.
So it's not an STD, which is great,
Which is
but
great.
yeah.
Yeah. How is it spreading? So, yeah, we do find this out later. We'll get to that
Mm-hmm.
in a second. So we find out the Guardian has Lysa. And so she's like, that's why you're fast and strong. Say it out loud. I was like,
Ransom.
ransom. So I said, well, we're in Elder. We find out Xavier and Evie are there. And Xavier, Ransom, and everybody kind of leave. And so it's her and Evie, and they bond. They play hide and seek. And then Evie hides really well the day before, and she's like, we're not fucking doing that again. I lost you.
Yeah.
And so she's like, come on, I know where Luella hides some good trinkets in the dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
So she takes her down there, and it is a fucking dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
And she sees books, these little trinkets, all these things. And Odessa's like, okay, it's actually kind of cool. And Luella's like, what are you doing here? And she's like, I was just showing her. And Kathleen's like, here, take some books. And then she overhears Luella going, what are you doing? She's like, I'm just educating her.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
The next day, everything's gone.
They completely disagree on this, by the way.
Oh, they
Luella
do.
and Catelyn have been longtime friends, and they
Hmm.
completely disagree on giving Odessa information about their country, um, just anything to do with Tura at all, which is what she's really looking for. And Luella's like, well, not Luella. Catelyn agrees that she should be educated about where she lives.
Hmm.
So they have a a discussion between the two of them where Luella's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And Catelyn's just like, "Listen, books aren't gonna hurt anybody." And she's just like, so yeah,
Are
exactly.
they? Yeah.
Exactly. The next day,
Yeah.
everything is gone, and Odessa is immediately suspicious of this
Oh God, yeah.
fact. Hmm.
She's like, okay, why? What's wrong with these books? Because obviously we know Ramsay's coming and burning books, so we get like
Hmm.
why they're hidden, but it's like, why is everything gone after I found them?
Yeah,
You know? Like, because Evie's one thing. Evie's a little kid that's gonna follow you around because she's rambunctious and smart as fuck.
exactly. Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
she has led Odessa into some real pickles and some real conundrums, and she's going to continue to do so.
She's gonna continue, yeah. Because like literally the next chapter or the next chunk is like she's training while she's there still, and the guardian comes and he's like, "Oh hey, let's go get your horse from Trio," and she's like, "Hell yeah, my horse!"
Yeah.
And Evie comes along because Xavier's not there, so Evie's like, "I want to go." So they
Evie
go.
begs and Ransom gives in because older brother
He's
guilt.
weak.
Yep.
Yeah, but he's like, "I'm just a friend. I'm not your brother," but
Yeah.
he loves her to death,
Yeah.
which is like, oh, it's so cute.
Hmm.
Um, on the ride there, they're kind of talking and just, she's getting some answers because Evie passes the fuck out. And she's like, I want to help you figure this out. I want to do that. She's like, this isn't cool because it can spread during the crux over to my land, other land. She's like, no. But on the way there, they find out Trio's being attacked.
Hmm.
And it's like, oh shit. And so Evie and Odessa go get to her treehouse, climb up, and then little kids are running around. And she's like, get the fuck up there. So she goes down, helps them. A Tarkin comes out and attacks the ladder as she's climbing up with his little boy. And she thinks she's gonna get eaten. Thank God the Guardian saves them.
Hmm.
And he's like checking her over. This is what I was like, and he's like, are you okay? I was
Hmm.
like, please check me too.
All of her training at this point, this is when we see her training really pay off. She,
Mm-hmm.
puts herself in front of these little kids to protect them. And, luckily the Guardian gets there in time to save her and protect everyone. But
Yeah.
this is when we really see some real physical strength and commitment to being a
Yes.
part of this country. For the longest time, she's had one foot out the door. Like, I just need to get a map and
Yeah.
gather this information so that I can report back to my dad. Like, this is my mission. This is my mission. But yet she's gotten to know these people. So now she's invested in what
Yeah.
happens. And she's very soft-hearted to especially to children.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, these kids are running around. Like you see her like holding this child, climbing this rope ladder. And that's when the ladder falls, and she's just still protecting this child. Like she's around the child as the Tarkin's about to attack them. She's like, hopefully eating me will like get them in here in time to stop it so the boy lives. And I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But I would do the same. So it's like, let me protect the child.
Mhm.
So it's like, yeah. So she passes out, goes to the infirmary. We see there that the Guardian and a Voster are kind of in a separate room. The Voster's like what looks like touching him and sucking stuff out. It turns out the Voster's trying to help suck some of the Lysa out of him to
Mhm.
try to help him.
Mhm. To
Because she's
siphon
like,
it
well, there's,
out.
yeah. And she's like, we'll cure you. He's like, there's no cure. She's like, but there will be. He's like, no, there won't. There's no cure. I'm just going to die.
I'm gonna get overloaded with Lysa, and I'm
Hmm.
gonna lose myself in Lysa, and I'll become this other beast, and then it will be my time to die. And I'm
Hmm.
entrusting that the people around me who are aware of this, we find out that it's several people close to him who are aware of this. Of course, not his, you know, Odessa. Odessa's not one of these people. She's just now putting it all together. But we find out that
Yeah.
Tilia knows, and we find out that not Xavier, not Prince knows,
Talia's
and
husband. There's a
it's
few
a
people.
that he
Yeah.
trusts that when the time comes, they need to, for lack of a better word, gun him down.
Yeah. But she does say, I will do that. And he's like, will you do promise? She's like, yeah. And he's like, okay. He's like, great, I like that. He's like, but I prefer it to be Xavier's sword. And I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
which was very heartbreaking. It's like, that's sad. Because at this time, again, we still don't know he's the prince.
Hmm.
So this is the entire time we still don't know. I believe, is it on this ride that we learn his real name?
I think so. This is also
Yeah.
when Odessa starts to really face herself like, "Oh fuck, oh shit. I
Mhm.
I am having feelings for the guardian, but I'm torn because I'm literally married to the prince and I don't know what to do and what is right."
And she's like, I gotta stop that because that's not my husband. She's like,
Hmm.
I will be a faithful bride. She's like, no. And it's like you see her fighting this, which is like really
Yeah.
sad because he like she almost falls and he goes to like catch her for something, and she's like, don't touch me like that. And he's like, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
It's like, oh. But yeah, this she falls when they're on the way to a Tarkin den because we see there were two Tarkins that attacked. The female Tarkin had like her nipples,
Hmm.
basically, lack of a better word. She had cups, and they're like, she has babies. Let's go find them and see if first they have Lysa. Second, if they do, we gotta kill them
Yeah.
because it's very sad. And so she
They were
goes
going to
with the
kill them
Guardian.
either way because they were going to be
Yeah,
starving. So,
yeah. So they go and find what five cubs, and they
mhm.
were all dead except one. And he's like on the brink. She's like, check his blood, check his blood. I want to keep him. I want to save him, because they've been gone for a few days. The mom and dad were gone for a few days. That's why they died. They starved to death, which is very sad. And he bled red. So we keep his Tarkin. And Evie names him Phase, which I'm like, that's so cute.
I don't
Uh,
really know why she names him Phase, but
no,
I love it's a perfect name for this little creature.
it really is. And he is very much attached to Odessa, and he'll play with Evie, and she's like, we'll watch him for biting. But she is like, it is like a newborn. You have to get up and feed him every 3 hours.
Yeah, so Des is stepped right into that mama role pretty flawlessly.
Hmm. Yeah. And then he's like, I found out about some line wicks that are attacking. Let's go. So she creates a baby carrier for him. He's like, what are you doing? She's like, nobody's here that can take care of him. You want him secret. So he has to come with us.
Mhm.
He's like, fine, bring your baby.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's really funny. And so we go out and investigate. We ran into another person from our hometown, Quintus. This was the name. I knew it was a Q.
Mhm.
Quintus. And this guy wrote a book that did not talk about her family in good favor. She's like,
No.
I want to have a word.
She's pissed. She's like, "And who the hell are you? And why the hell are you here?" And da 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 da. And
Hmm.
he's like, I write the news for this
Hmm.
town, and everyone, nobody cares. Nobody actually gives a shit that he writes the news, but that's his like claim to fame of this town. He's got a little son, and his wife has died in the travels and everything. And she's like, okay, I'm going to start grilling this guy because I do not like how he wrote my family in this book. One of the only books that
Hmm.
she's been given while she's been in Tura, by the way. And it just
Hmm.
paints her family in this horrible light that that her dad wanted her mom to die in childbirth. And,
Murdered her mom. Yeah.
yeah, all of these different basically she views as lies, but nobody actually
Hmm.
really knows the truth. And that's
No.
one thing to keep in mind. So he goes, my bad, dog, I wrote this in spite because I lost my wife and I'm a single dad who works two jobs. And
Is
and
he
sh-
singing that?
and she's just like, right, I don't care. But then she goes, wait a minute. You said that you write things? So she deposits that in her mind for future her. We'll come back
Hmm.
to that.
Say they want to leave, but we run into Ramsey. He
King
comes into town,
Ramsey.
and yeah, as he's talking to Ransom, who's again the guardian, we know him as the guardian at this point. He's like, I can see why my son picked you, blah blah blah. The way he's talking to her, you don't really piece it together that he's the prince, but you also kind of do, because he doesn't come out right and say like, you're my son, you have to do this. It's like, I'm gonna get you in a month, and it's like, what?
Yeah,
He
okay.
also comes down and burns this shop because he's a printing press. He's a printer.
Right.
And they're like, no words. Nobody can learn how to read. Basically, is what you're thinking. Things are bad.
Not going good.
Not gonna get. I said Ramsey comes up, burns the shop down. This is where Ramsey's like, I see why my son chose you for a bride prize. Blah blah blah. You're pretty.
Yeah,
Because Odessa has stopped dyeing her hair. Because, like, she had it brown because Margot told her to. Like, it's not good. The red's not good. And so and then everyone's like, what happened? She got it wet or something. And Ransom made a comment, like, your hair's better. And so she stopped dyeing it. Because she's like, Xavier wants a brunette bride. He wants a brunette bride. I got to keep dyeing it brown. All this shit. And then she stopped. And it's like, okay. I think she stopped dyeing it on the boat. So I think she dumped the vials out on the ship.
no, I think she dumped the vials out in Trio. And that
So
was the
maybe
time
then.
that she decided that she was going to
Oh, yeah, yeah,
stop
yeah.
dyeing her hair. And that's all good and fine. So we find out that she's a natural redhead, which is very, 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 at the end of this book, you put some shit together and you freak out a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Until then, they're leaving finally. This town, I forgot what the town is, but they have this dude. I think his name is Sam. They have the Quintus author and his son with them on the wagon. They're bringing them back because they lost fucking everything. He went in and grabbed some stuff that was his wife's for his son, and some things. And Ransom helped get some stuff,
The
and they're
Guardian
bringing them
went
back.
into the burning house to retrieve
Yes,
items related to,
and the man.
yeah, and the man's child for that matter.
No, the
Um,
child was out. He was like, "Dad," and he went in to get like Sam.
oh, okay, per.
Yeah, from the fire. Yeah, and so they're on their way back to they're taking them to Elder. And then Odessa, is talking and she finds out what happened with Banner's brother. Basically, he was not a good guy. He tells her like his worst thing was that he had to kill somebody that was trafficking people, like humans, and like luring them away. And then she's like, "What happened to Banner's brother?" And all this stuff. And he's like, "That was his brother." She's like, "Oh, okay, I'm glad he's dead." Like, no, he's a piece of shit. Yeah. So yeah, we get back. Guardian tells the guards, like, give these people anything, give them a house, give them anything they want. They just lost everything. Give them everything, which is very sweet. And
Mm-hmm.
then as we're about to go upstairs, we see Jocelyn, one of our bitches in waiting, is getting fucked. We're like, okay, nice. And then she moves and Xavier's there. Our husband is
Mm-hmm.
fucking our lady's maid with some other dude.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of go upstairs. We're mad, obviously. We're ignoring Xavier, and Ransom's like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry." And she's like, "Why the fuck is he apologizing?" And then she goes in and kind of has like lots of thoughts at once. Like she's upset, angry, but also relieved because
She's
she's like, "He's
relieved, yeah.
fucking her," but
Yeah.
that means I can fuck the Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
You
Oh,
know?
okay, so we have
Oh,
an open marriage. Right.
yeah. But she's like, I'm angry that this happened. Yes, angry about this. I'm angry that he could just do that and then I can't, type thing. And then she's relieved. Um, and then so then the Guardian comes in and he's like, I need to tell you something. She's like, what? Are you fucking her too? He's like, no, he's not really the prince. See, I'm the prince. She's like, your name's Ransom. He's like, it's Xavier Ransom Wolf, but he's always gone by Ransom. She's pissed, obviously. She's like, what the fuck? She's like, he did everything. Because for the Shield of Sparrows, you have to sign in your own blood, say, I vow this thing, and you cannot kill your spouse. You cannot kill your spouse. So she signed in her blood. Not Xavier, signed in his blood. She never saw the vial. He held the vial, signed with it. Ransom spoke the words. So he signed with Ransom's blood. He was just like the pen, basically. He just signed.
Mm-hmm.
So she did marry the Guardian, Ransom. She did marry him. Xavier's just the body double that's literally not married to her at all.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like very confused, upset, makes him leave, which I get.
Yeah. She said, get the F out of here, bro. Get the F
Yeah.
out of here because you've been lying to me this whole goddamn time.
Both
This
of you,
whole
everyone.
everybody's lying to me. Everybody's concealing information from me because they think
Mhm.
she's a spy. And guess what? She's a
She
spy.
is.
So
But
like
they knew that.
they knew that from the very beginning. It's been we've everybody's been aware that everybody's lying to everybody else. It's
Yeah.
this constant game of cat and mouse. However, the Guardian and her are developing feelings for each other. Point blank period.
She's again upset because she's like, you're actually my husband. I had such horrible feelings that I felt bad for wanting to sleep with you and not Xavier, you know. And so the next day she goes down and like trains, but like basically attacks him and he has everybody leave so she can like verbalize things
Beat
because
his
not
ass
everybody
up.
knows.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not everybody knows he's actually the prince.
Hmm.
A lot of people don't know. And he's like, we've been able to keep this up for over a decade. So that's why a lot of people don't realize I'm actually the prince. And so she's obviously pissed. She wants him to fight, and he's just like defending himself. She's like, no, fucking fight me, bitch.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I forgot if they went on a walk shortly after that. She kind of walked away, and then they eventually go on a walk, and she gets some questions answered.
Hmm.
And he's like, no, I have been falling for you. I have been doing all this stuff, you know. They're holding hands, but they have to do it away from people because again, people don't know he's actually the fucking prince. They know she's married to Xavier, but not that he's actually Xavier.
Hmm.
So yeah, they can't be a true married couple, which I feel is gonna change in the next book.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Because
It's gonna come out. And we have a
Mhm.
his we and the other thing that's dropped in this portion of it is that we find out that historically this royal family has always had body doubles for its
Mhm.
children. From the very beginning, there's been someone that's close to them, a cousin, a brother, something like that that's related to
Something.
the true heir of the throne,
Mhm.
who has posed as them, and it goes back to some historical story, yada yada yada, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, so this has just been something that they've kept up longer than usual, and we find out it's actually because, well, the Guardian has Lysa and he's sick, so
That's why it's
he
been kept up an extra 4 years.
he doesn't want to be, the prince. He
Mhm.
doesn't want anybody to know because he's gonna go, he's gonna go wild style and go crazy on a beat,
Yeah.
and he knows that somebody's gonna have to kill him, so he doesn't want to be the prince that was not promised. He wants to
Yeah.
be, you know he just wants to be himself. He wants to be the guardian for as long as he possibly can, and then eventually he wants Xavier, not Xavier, to take over and
Yeah.
be the prince, the real and legit prince. They're
Yeah.
cousins
And he
after all.
Yeah, and he told Odessa, he's like, I saw you on that cliff. Because it opens with her standing on a cliff wanting to jump, just to cliff jump, basically. And he's like, you went in with brown hair, came out with red. And he's like, I thought you were so fucking brave for that. He's like, I kind of fell for you then a little bit.
Yeah.
That bravery. And then he's like, I married you to set you free. He's like, I could tell you were imprisoned there. And she's like, I'm fucking married to you. I'm trapped. And he's like, no, when I die, you're free. Like, you can do whatever the fuck you want. So she's like, I'm confused.
She's like, actually, that's not how that works. I'm never gonna be free. I'm not
Yeah.
free because I'm imprisoned to my family. I'm the sparrow, okay? And
Hmm.
also, like, when you die, what happens to me exactly? And he's like,
Yeah. Ah.
you just go out into the world. And she's just like, okay, but where? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah. Yeah, so she's like, and also we're gonna find a fucking cure. Even more so now,
Yeah.
she wants a cure because she
Yeah.
realized the man I'm falling for is my actual husband and he's dying. I want a cure for him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, there is no fucking cure, woman. She's like, bitch, watch me. She's like, the answers are in the capital city, which you won't take me to, Alisaria. And he's like, I can't tell you about that because there's a blood sworn oath. As soon as you go into that place,
Mm-hmm.
everybody's blood sworn. They cannot talk about it. Like, literally cannot talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, fuck.
Foils
He's
her.
like, I'll take you there one day.
Really foils her plans about getting into there and getting to the bottom of where exactly Lysa comes from. She starts to put
Yeah.
together, okay, so the blood is green. Who else has green attributes and green features? Hmm, the
The
Voster.
Foster.
And our guardian is like, ain't no way the Voster would never do this. And she's just like, I don't believe you. I think it's the Voster. And at
Because she,
this
again, she
point,
has that bad experience. Yeah.
yep. At this point, I am fully on her side. At this point in the story, I am
Yeah.
like, yes, it's the Voster.
Fuck those
Exactly.
guys.
Exactly. The minute that we find out the creatures had green blood, I was like, absolutely, it's the Vosters.
Oh, yeah. No, same. I was like, aren't the Fosters green? Like,
Exactly.
no.
The Green Goblin men, and I picture them kind of as like dementors. That's how I see them in my mind.
I don't even know how I see them. Like, I see, like, I don't even know who I see in my head. It's like I see somebody from like this show or movie that's like very pale and very like this, but then I put the Voster like green blood and I cannot picture. I will find it and insert it what I see.
Okay, so you know Game of Thrones when
Yeah.
Dany is in the protected city and she like
Yes,
goes
that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing. Yes, 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 yes. I was like, I can
exactly,
see it, but I can't see it. Yes,
but
yes.
green
There's Game of
instead
Thrones.
he's
Yeah,
like black, but no, instead of green it's black.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep,
That's what I'm seeing. Yes,
yep,
yes.
yep,
That's what I'm picturing because that's very much how they were described.
yep.
Because they're priests and they're pale with green and they're just like, "Meh."
They're creepy.
Like
They're spooky
they're
as
creepy as
fuck. Yeah,
fuck.
yeah.
But yeah, while on this walk though, a Voster, the Voster priest, high priest, a Lord Commander, whatever, um, is in the town square, um, kind of putting on a show for the kiddos. And she's
Yeah,
like, I don't trust him.
he's like doing magic for the kids, and she's like, weird.
Yeah, and then they're on this walk, and then they start hearing screams. Bear wolves have come in through the open gates and are attacking. And it is intense and gory, and this is one of the most heartbreaking scenes. It made me cry the first time I read this, and I still almost cried because I remembered what happened, and I was like,
Yeah, this
yeah,
is just this is when Devney Perry really just says, actually, I think everyone will die. Check your trigger warnings for this book, you
yeah,
guys, because it is la 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 adventure world building, and then it's not. Trigger
cries.
warning, child
Yeah,
death.
trigger warning.
Yeah.
I said there were children here, guys, and Odessa sees a child crying over his mom's body. And she's like, I gotta go save this kid. So she's running after him. And Ransom's like, don't. And she's like, I gotta save this fucking kid. The one eyed bear wolf bitch is coming for her, like charging at her. She's like,
Mm-hmm.
this bear wolf's fucking weird.
Yep.
Like something's going on. He gets there and kills the kid, guys. It's so fucking sad.
Yeah.
It was like, it's not super described, it was just that. And I was just like, oh my God. Like, I started crying.
It's pretty fucked up. Yeah, this at this point, and it's
Yeah.
everything happening at once. It's everything going crazy style.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's
It's
wild.
Yeah, and
Buckle
this
in.
isn't. There are more deaths to come. There, yes, they describe bodies in the street, but nothing more after this because there were a bunch of people in in like the town center or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, yeah. So I said that bear wolf's fucking weird though, guys. He's kind of barking commands, making other bear wolves chase after her as he escapes. So they're like, he's the fucking ringleader.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's the one that bit Ransom. That's why we know who, like, this is the special one because he's one eyed. And he's like, yeah, it's the one eyed bear wolf.
Mm-hmm. He's like, yeah, I
She's
fought
like,
that bitch, and that bitch bit me, and that's how I got Lysa.
and they're like, okay, so we got it from him. What else? Blah, blah, blah. After this, Odessa and Ransom sleep together.
Mm-hmm.
That's very nice.
So they get away. They get away
Mm-hmm.
from the whole situation. They save as many people as they possibly can, and
Yeah.
and and then they get away. And this is the moment where they decide, okay, we need to this fight, this battle has brought them closer together. She killed some bear wolves, he killed some bear wolves, they bonded in death as one does, and they decide we gotta pork and beans now that it's out in the open and you're really my husband. I better get it in. Straight up.
Let's consummate this marriage. She's like, we're a few
Exactly.
months late.
Exactly.
And so they do. A few times. So the next day, Xavier, not Xavier, comes in and is like, yo, we found the wolves. We're gonna go after them. And Ransom's like, wait for me, bitch. And Odessa's like, take me with you. He's like, no,
Mm-hmm.
you're staying here, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and
You matter the most in the world to me. You're staying here.
yeah, it was so sweet. But the day before with the big fight, Tilia came in with a bunch of other people and helped fight off the bear wolf. So Tilia's there with her husband and a bunch of other people. And as Odessa's just walking around the village, she kind of gets attacked. by this random guy that was brought in with Tilia. They're like, this is a soldier that's like knocked out, overheating, like something's wrong. He said some weird ass shit, and we find out why very shortly. We
Mm.
don't find out what the words mean, but we find out why he was saying some weird ass shit. He was infected with a version of Lysa, which we'll get into. And so she's choked out. She kills him, and she is out of her mind because this is the first person she's had to kill.
She's shaken up for sure. And
She
she's
really
wondering
is.
what the hell was wrong with him? Has this happened to anybody else? Was he bit?
Hmm.
How did this all begin?
Yeah. What is going on in this fucking town? This
What's
fucking
going
country.
on? Yeah.
What is going on? And so yeah, she is choked out. She has marks all over, and then Ransom comes back and is very upset because
Mm.
the same thing happened to his mom. And he was there for his mom, so he's very, very guilt laden right now. And we figure out before Ransom comes in, we piece together that Luella is actually their mom. And she's like, "You're his mom." And she's like, "He told you?" She's like, "No, I just guessed right now." You
She's
told
like
me.
she's like, "How could I not see this before? They look almost exactly alike." And by the way, damn, she sure does look a lot like Evie.
Mm-hmm.
1 plus 1 is right. You're the pappy.
Yeah, the happy. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then we learn eventually, like a couple of days later. Um oh yeah, Kathleen had given us more books, and she's like, "This one looks like a journal." And she's reading it, and it has notes, and she's like, "This is interesting." She's like, "I have a theory. Hold on." And so Ransom's like, "What's going on?" Because he's still like mother henning, like, because it's been a couple weeks, and he's like, "What's wrong?" She's like, "I'm fucking fine. Just fuck me."
Yeah.
Yeah. And so she goes down to Kathleen, who's in Luella's place, and is like, "What is going on? What is this?" And then we find out Luella created Lysa by mistake, but she created it. So basically, she needed a hobby while her husband was doing shit, and because she didn't really love her husband. She worked with her alchemist. They were figuring out basically like vaccines. That's what they were working on. And so one time, Ransom was really sick as a young boy. She injected him with this, and he got better. She didn't tell him. She didn't tell her husband. And then 4 years ago, when he was fighting that bear wolf and got bit, that actually created Lysa. So him and the bear wolf together created the Lysa.
And activated it. The purpose of her
Yeah.
creating the vaccines is she didn't want to spend another crux below ground. She had already gone through
Mm-hmm.
one crux migration. She saw how it impacted her family. Everyone in her side of the family died underneath the ground. And so she said, I need to fight fire with fire.
Mm-hmm.
She has this alchemy background because she was bored and like her family was heavily into alchemy. And so she says, I need to get my ass up and I need to figure out how to prevent my
Mm-hmm.
sons and my legacies from dying. So she starts fiddly fucking around with some alchemical ingredients, and
Yep.
bada bing, bada boom, she's trying to create a super warrior. And so she starts with her son.
Though some of them had
Fucking,
taken it and they were
yeah,
fine, and then she gave it to her son.
fucking bananas, by the way. Fucking
Yeah.
bananas to try to save your family by also giving your own flesh and blood, the heir to your legacy, a vaccine that you don't know what it's going to do.
Yeah.
Crazy. So Luella got fucking problems.
She does. And she's been this entire time, the last 4 years, she's been trying to figure out how to create a cure. She's been trying to figure it out because she
Reverse.
feels
Yep.
so fucking bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then they piece together Ramsey knew this, and he's been trying to create his own version of Lysa,
Yep.
not with the animal. So they think he's been taking animal blood and injecting it in people, and that's why the people have been disappearing. And these three random soldiers are there, knocked out, and that guy was saying weird shit and was heating up. He was infected with Lysa in a weird, horrible way. And because when she killed him, she's like, he had this relieved look on his face. Like, thank God that's over.
He wanted
So
to
Rams,
die. Yeah, he was
yeah.
burning up, and she finds that he has not a bite mark but injection marks. Very
Mhm.
suspicious.
So Ramsey is doing this. He's trying to create this. He's trying to create more guardians, basically. But the guardian's one of a kind, bitch. So, yeah. That's what's going on. Luella's like, I'm trying to find a cure. I'm trying. She's like, I've been trying so fucking hard. She's like, you're my child. I feel so bad. Ransom feels so guilty because he's like, I caused this. I caused everything wrong the last 4 years. So he is even more guilty. And like, he's like, I gotta figure this out.
He has
Like,
survivor's guilt about being the only
so bad.
person that, you know, with the combination of the injection and the bite, that now he's become this super guy. And that's why he's like, I have to kill all these animals. I'm the only one that's capable of killing all these animals. Then we find out that he actually has a deeper connection to them. He can
Mm-hmm.
feel what they're feeling, he can sense their senses. It's wild. And yet, he knows where they're going to be because of this deep connection to them, because him and this one-eyed barrel wolf caused the greater exposure to the rest of the different creatures.
Because
Both
the
of
wolf's
them
going around
together.
biting everything. Yeah.
Exactly.
The wolf's like, let me build an army.
Yep.
And he's like, stop.
The wolf is the King Ramsay of the creature world.
He really is. He really fucking is. So, yeah. Ransom's like, I gotta go to Alisaria. I have to figure out and get answers. I have to make Ramsey stop this bullshit. He's like, plus I'm needed there anyway. He wants me there anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So he's about to leave, and then, oh shit, Ramsey's here. Oh
Surprise,
shit, he's at the door.
surprise.
Exactly.
Surprise, surprise. Mm-hmm.
And so he's brought in, and he's like, oh, listen, we don't know what's going on, but oh, look, somebody else is there with him. Banner. Her ex-fiance is there, and they're like, he's here for her fiance. And she's like, I'm not your fucking fiance anymore. They're like, not you, bitch. It's Brielle, her bitch in waiting. Like, she comes over. That was the woman Banner was keeping in the city that Brielle told her about at the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
It was her.
So come to
The
find
entire
out,
time.
the fiance who was fucking the other girl when she was engaged to him was really bitch in waiting Brielle. Come to find out, Brielle's just not a bitch in waiting. No, no, no. Brielle is a warrior princess. No,
That's Jocelyn.
that's Jocelyn.
Jocelyn
See?
fucked Xavier, and Jocelyn,
Right.
she sent her home because Jocelyn felt so guilty. No, Jocelyn was a backup spy. Jocelyn comes in
Yeah.
too and is like, I'm here too, bitch. So all her bitches are waiting. It's about their bitches and waiting. They're fucking bitches.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're like, God damn it. And so Odessa's thrown the fuck off. And everyone, they're all fighting. They're all like, what is happening? What comes down from the sky? It's a bird. It's a plane. Nope, it isn't a bird. It's the crux.
Revelations on revelations. It's pretty fucked. Yeah.
Yeah. So the crux comes down and it starts killing a lot of people. A lot of people fucking die here. A lot of good people. Like Mama Luella literally gets ripped in half.
So Queen Luella, we get the reveal. She gets ripped right in half, right in front of her eyes. So she can't fix this issue, this infestation that she's created.
Yeah.
She's not alive to be able to fix it. So she drops her journal, which has all of her, you know, her
No, that was
research
back in
essentially.
Odessa's room because Odessa was reading it. So it's in Odessa's room.
So Odessa, you know, keeps
Goes
that
back,
shit
yeah.
close to her chest, right?
Mm-hmm.
One little nugget I think we need to include here is that when she's looking at the journal, Odessa has always had this necklace on,
Mm-hmm.
right? When she's looking at the journal, this is like something her mother gave her, right? Her mom
No,
died
she
in
found it.
okay.
She
In
found it
her
in her
mom's room
closet.
though, yeah.
Yeah, the
So
closet door.
we find out that on the cover of the journal is the same pendant, an image of the same
Mm-hmm.
pendant that she wears that she found in her mom's room. We don't know what that means yet, though.
No. And she's like, I feel really close to this. So Ransom's like, I'm gonna fight the crux. You get the fuck out of here. Take Evie and go.
Mm-hmm.
So she runs back to her room, gets Tarkin, of course, fucking Tarkin. And Evie's up there. She grabs the journal, grabs a couple things. She's like, we gotta go. Banner comes in. Well, he's there. And she's like, where's Brielle? Just get Brielle and leave, Banner. Like, fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
No, he starts to attack Odessa. But then Xavier jumps in and gets stabbed in the gut, which is not good. Odessa kills
Xavier, not
Banner.
Xavier. Yeah. The
Xavier,
not
not Xavier.
prince.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, we stab Banner. We being Odessa, and then we see Jocelyn gets killed. Thank God, bitch goes away. As we're running and hiding with Evie, trying to like escape, go down to the dungeon because there's an escape route there. Brielle dies. So basically, again, a lot of people fucking die.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a lot of townsfolk dying too. So like we don't see a lot of that. Um, I said we leave. As we're leaving though, Xavier, not Xavier's body, before we see Jocelyn and Brielle, we let out a whistle. And from Trio, there are whistles for certain things, like all clear, person coming in, don't know who this is, attack, help. All there's different whistles, and she learned them. So she lets one out and then leaves. And this was very special and very important because in the bonus chapter, we learned this actually saved Xavier's life in a way because he's still alive,
Mm-hmm.
fighting for his life, but
Mm-hmm.
still alive.
Yeah.
So Ransom tells Odessa, run, and you and Evangeline go to Trio. If I'm not there the day after tomorrow, which is a really good movie, then move on. He's like, move on and get out. Basically, Tura's not safe for her
Mm-hmm.
because all these fucking creatures. Basically,
Mm-hmm.
he's like, you need to go back home. Is what he's
Mm-hmm.
basically telling her because that's where she's safe. You know, the Crux. It's gonna take a little longer to get there. Take Evie and go to Quintus. Um, and so as we're about to go in the dungeons, we see Ransom and the Crux's claw, and she's flying away, and she's like, "Fuck." The High Vostra priest is in the tunnel, and he's like, I'm not gonna touch you. Here's your horse's reins. Follow me.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, okay. And Evie's crying. Evie's upset, obviously. She just saw her dad get stabbed, and she's like, I'm for what the fuck.
That's the realist. That's the realist reaction. Also, I'm for what the fuck mood, mood, little ass
Yeah.
bitch, mood.
Last bitch mood. And so then we're riding out on our horse, Freya, we named it, with the High Vostra. The last chapter, point of view change. Hey, we are Ransom now. This is Jason Clark. Hi,
Hey.
Jason.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Now this is our featuring Jason Clark. Mm-hmm.
Featuring Jason. So we are Ransom walking through the town center the next morning with a bunch of bodies lying around. Our mom is ripped in half. We're very upset. With the story, we find out Xavier's fighting for his life. Tilia's husband lost a leg and he's fighting for his life a little too. Because this is back, there's not great medicine there. So they're trying. So yeah, because she's let out that whistle, a medical person that like trained in Trio knew that whistle and knew to go there right away. So that saved Xavier's life. Hopefully he lives. We'll see. Um, yes, because Ransom's like, we're done with this fucking bullshit. I am the prince. I'm gonna go save my wife, and then we're gonna fucking take down this thing. Because Ramsey got away. Because of course he fucking did. Of course he
Mm-hmm.
did.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Ransom goes and pulls his sword out of the chest of a redheaded woman. What is that about? This redheaded woman looks a lot like Odessa. But didn't I stab the crux in the chest? Collapse and pass out? Not a woman? What is happening? And
Yeah.
Kathleen's there, and he's like, what is this? She's like, I've not seen this before. All the other cruxes have been creatures. We don't know what's going on, but we're gonna go find our wife and figure some shit out. The end.
The end. Oh my
The
god.
end.
So literally, this is where I was like, Miss Perry, we need to have a couple of words. We need to have a chat.
What?
First of all, you kill everyone. Brielle, the other lady's maid who was in love with Banner. Brielle was a spy for her dad. Okay, so boom. Not the prince is dead.
Setup, yeah.
Maybe, question mark. The queen is literally, boom, ripped in half. Hello?
Halston,
And
yes, you gotta say it.
and Halston got his name. Rip his leg.
That's the name.
Ooh, I said, ooh, leg down. Literally. Okay, and then the goddamn crux was maybe a goddamn person. My jaw was on the floor. I was not ready. What even the hell was that? I had to take a moment and a half to just sit, reflect, and move on. And thank God the second book is now out everywhere that you can get it.
Now out.
Audiobook. Your favorite indie bookstore. Go check out your favorite indie
Digital.
bookstore. We have a few. We love to patron those places. So there you have it, guys. This was our unhinged recap of
Yes.
Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry.
It was I love this book. But yeah, the way you said like your ending, you had to sit there. I had to sit there. I literally finished this late at night and I sat up like, what just happened?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
First of all, I was in shock that Samantha did everything. Second of all, that ending.
I know.
I had 2 revelations.
Revelations on the revelations.
Revelation.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So much of this book is like, world building, and there's a lot going on, and it kind of, at first you're a little bit lulled to sleep, for a good
Mm-hmm.
portion of this book, like when you were like, no girl, you need to read this book, and then for a good 50% of the book I was like, okay, is anything exciting gonna happen? And then it does. And so I ended up giving this book a rating of about 4.75.
I think
It's
I give it
great.
that too.
It's great. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
It sets you up perfectly. The world is fresh. The concepts are fresh. It's well written. The
It's
audiobook
so good.
adds to the story. Sometimes audiobooks
Yeah.
take away from the story and kind of ruin your experience. Um so not speaking specifically about any book or anything, but
No, no.
no. But yeah, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this, and we'll see you for the Rites of the Starling discussion.
Yes, I'm very excited to get that started. Like real soon.
Me too.
Yes.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Voster, just like green gross people, magical ew.
Yeah. I said
Uh
men.
Magical ew.
Yeah.
Banner, just like old warrior man,
I'm
like,
glad he's dead.
me too. Me
Yeah.
too. That was, I just like, I don't, again, I don't care. You suck.
Mm-hmm. Thank God she killed him.
Mm. The guardian gets there, the garden.